A generation of young people told they're lazy, told they're not working hard enough, while the system around them crumbles. Youth services slashed by nearly 70% since 2010. University fees skyrocketing. Housing, forget about it. And jobs? Good luck finding one that pays enough to survive. This is the reality for millions of young people in Britain today. But instead of compassion, they're met with punishment. Sound familiar? Well, it should, because this isn't just a crisis, it's a betrayal. And today, we're calling it out.
This debate feels a bit like a tune I've heard before, say from David Cameron throughout the 2010s. We have an incredibly punitive benefit system. People who are on benefits are not treated well, are not living a kind of life of luxury. And when you actually look at the statistics and you look at what's going on with people, if you think about our young people, those people who are not in work and who are not looking for work, I do look at that, and as you know, I work in a university, so working with young people, and I do think, what future have they got in a country where the Chancellor is all doom and gloom, where youth services have been cut to the bone? So we've had, since 2010, about nearly a 70% cut to youth services, services that are essential to building up the confidence of young people, supporting people who maybe don't have that support elsewhere in their life. And then you can't get a decent job, you can't afford a house, you can't afford university fees, you don't want to be riddled with debt. We have to do better by our young people, and continually saying to them, you're lazy and you're not working hard enough, totally misses what is actually going on. And if we want to solve it, I think we need a more compassionate approach, not a more punitive approach.
Oh, we're sorry, Brilliant.
I quite agree with the points about tax evasion, but the biggest tax evasion of all is rich people leaving the country, which they're doing at record numbers at the moment. Because they feel very heavily taxed and they feel Britain isn't an accommodating place for them. John, thank you very much for sticking around. But a lot of rich people are leaving. And it's sort of satisfying to watch rich people leave and think, well, who cares about them? But unfortunately, they contribute a hell of a lot to the exchequer, and we're losing that. So that is a kind of legitimate evasion. A legal evasion is just people leaving the country who have money and pay a lot of tax, and it's another big problem.
Let's get real for a second. When you cut youth services by 70%, when you make education a debt sentence, when you price an entire generation out of housing, what do you expect? For young people to magically thrive? To pull themselves up by bootstraps that don't exist? No. What they need is support, compassion, a system that doesn't punish them for being born into a world that's stacked against them. But instead, what do they get? Condescension, blame, and a government that seems more interested in protecting the wealthy than investing in the future. So here's my question to you. What kind of future do we want? One where young people are set up to fail while the rich get richer, or one where everyone has a fair shot at success? The choice is ours, but one thing's for sure, we can't keep going like this. It's time to demand better for our young people, for our future, for all of us. Don't just watch, act, share this video, start a conversation, and let's make sure this generation and the ones that follow get the future they deserve. See you in the comments.